Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to time align vocals super fast and how to create a nice thick and wide vocal stack using VocAlign Pro. I started off with a song that had a single mono lead vocal that sounds like this.
What can I say? I'm amazed, peacefully dazed.
And here's where I ended up after using the plugin.
Might have fallen down from grace. Couldn't think of a different way.
I actually covered an older version of VocAlign on this channel 5 years ago, and I'm really keen to show you how far things have come since then. In fact, VocAlign has been around for 30 years now. So I'm going to focus in on my current workflow and some of the new creative features that have been launched in this most current version. For full disclosure, this is a sponsored video in partnership with Lander, who owns VocAlign Pro. The sponsorship I chose to take on because it allows me to offer two huge benefits for all of you. The first is that it's enabled me to create and launch a whole series of free masterclass level courses. You'll see on the Warp Academy site, vocal production, a course on how to create music studios, all about acoustics and studio design, a Lightspeed mixing masterclass, and a free template for Ableton Live and Logic and Studio One and Bitwig and FL Studio for mixing. Courses on producing with iZotope plugins, producing with FabFilter plugins, just to name a few. These are courses that I would otherwise be charging hundreds of dollars for, and now they're 100% free for you. There's a link in the description if you want to check those out and sign up. The second benefit that I'm able to offer you through this sponsorship is Lander has given me a block of perpetual lifetime licenses for VocAlign Pro to give away for you. We're going to be giving those away soon in our free Discord server. Details below in the video description. Let's go retime some vocals. Here's the first part of the track we'll be working with.
I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world.
Okay, great. So you can hear there's a main female vocal lead. It's right up the center. And I want to experiment with adding a second reinforcing part. So I have a second take that was recorded, and the timing will be a little bit different, and I want to sync it to the main lead. So here's the second take.
What if this is your last day? Could you tell if it's too late?
Here they are together.
What if this is your last day? Could you tell if it's too late?
So it's achieving that effect that I want of thickening the main take, and it's a better sounding effect than using an artificial chorus or something. So I like that, but I want to get the timing a little tighter. So this is a perfect use of VocAlign Pro, and I'm going to show you just my very basic, fast, quick and dirty timing workflow. So I take VocAlign Pro and I put it on this second take because that's the one that I want to sync to the first lead. So we only need one instance here. And then we need to tell the plugin which the timing reference is. So what we want it to listen to adjust the timing to as the reference. And we do that using the sidechain input. So we expand and we choose the guide lead vocal. And I named it guide because that's VocAlign terminology. If you open up the plugin, you'll see the guide is listed here and the dub is listed here. And so the dub is the track that you want to sync, in this case, that second take, and the guide is the reference track that you want to sync to. Okay? And then all we need to do is play and hit capture.
What if this is your last day? Could you tell if it's too late to live it up? So give it all you got. We're gonna be okay.
Now I needed to do this in real time because Ableton Live doesn't have ARA. ARA is just a technology that allows faster than real-time audio capture for things like vocal tuning and timing, and other DAWs have it. Ableton Live does not. Luckily, VocAlign Pro is able to work flexibly with ARA or non-ARA DAWs. Okay? Now, once that's played in, the shift is already happened. It's processed and it's ready to go. Let's listen.
What if this is your last day? Could you tell if it's too late to live it up?
Let's toggle it on and off so you can hear the difference.
What if this is your last day? Could you tell if it's too late to lift it up. So give it all you got.
And that is literally as easy as it gets, okay? I oftentimes don't even change a thing with the processing. Now, let's listen to it in the music.
What if this is your last day? Could you tell if it's too late to lift it up? So give it all you got. We're gonna be okay.
Nice. Okay, so once I have the processing dialed, then I like to commit to audio in case I want to change anything in the audio later on, because right now the processing is sitting in VocAlign's buffer, okay? So how I would do this in Ableton Live is just right click on the track and you can go freeze and flatten, and it's going to bounce everything to audio in place. Okay, now let's skip ahead to a different section of the song so we can explore some of the creative features in VocAlign Pro. Here's the verse.
What can I say? I'm amazed. Peacefully dazed. Been in the state for days.
And just like last time, we have a second take that we can play with. Here it is.
What can I say? I'm amazed. Peacefully dazed. Been in the state for days.
Great. So now that we're familiar with vocal timing workflow in VocAlign Pro, let's do a little refresher, but see how fast I can do it. Okay. So we're going to start by dropping the plugin onto the dub track. We're going to route the sidechain input. We will pop the plugin open, click capture, and play.
What can I say? I'm amazed. Peacefully dazed. Been in the state for days. Might have fallen down from grace. Couldn't think of a different way.
Awesome. There we go. Timing's in, timing's done. Now it's time to have some fun and play around. So I like to work with doubles. So when I'm creating a vocal stack like this, right? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to hard pan one left and one to the right. And aside from just doing the timings, we're going to open this other area of the UI, which exposes other parameters, and you can see formant shifting. Now, formant shifting is dope because it allows you to shift the timbre without shifting the pitch of the vocal. And this is very useful if you have hard panned copies, because we're going to formant shift them in opposite directions. Okay, so we're going to take the first version and we're going to hard pan it to the left and formant shift it down. The second one is hard panned right, and we are going to formant shift it up. And already that is going to create a dramatic, substantial widening difference. Let's have a listen.
What can I say? I'm amazed. Peacefully dazed. Been in the state for days.
Right? It's a bit otherworldly. It's very processed sounding, but it could be a good candidate to fit the track. Okay. Now, the other thing we can do is we can create slight pitch variation. So we can open up the pitch match area of the UI, which we really haven't used because the vocal doesn't need to be pitched. It's hard pitched already. But if we turn this on, then we can see we have a transpose function where we can actually work in sense. So we can just knock one of them down just a touch. And then we can take the other one, again, activate it, turn on match pitch, and we can just turn it up a touch. Let's listen to what that sounds like.
What can I say? I'm amazed.
Makes it sound a bit more phasey, right? So it gives us a really extreme widening vocal stack effect. Let's listen to the mix without these copies, and then I'll pop them in.
What can I say? I'm amazed. Peacefully dazed. Been in the state for days. Might have fallen down from grace. Couldn't think of a different way.
Nice. Now we can do one more thing. I'm going to create another double. We will pan this one back into the center, and I want to do something a little bit more extreme here. So we are not going to use the formant shift. We will use the pitch, but we're going to drop it all the way to the bottom, which is a full octave down. Okay, so this on its own will be this really low reinforcing part. It'll sound funky on its own, but could be nice in the stack.
What can I say? I'm amazed.
You know, super artifacty, processed sounding, but you know, when you're getting creative, it can be fun to explore with this, especially if you nudge them a little lower in the mix and just bring it in a touch, right? Let's have a listen and see if that adds something.
What can I say? I'm amazed. Peacefully days. Been in the state for days. Might have fallen down from grace. Couldn't think of a different way.
Nice. So there you've got some creative options. Take it or leave it. You might like those, you might not, but this is some of the ways that I explore playing around with VocAlign Pro. There's a couple final things I just want to mention. As you're using VocAlign, if you have more complicated vocal stacks, like multiple harmonies, multiple doubles and things like that, you can actually use multiple instances of VocAlign on all of the tracks that you want to sync, and you can simultaneously capture on all of them. So there's only one pass that you need to make. That's a big workflow hack, and it speeds things up. The other thing I want to talk about is Smart Align. And Smart Align is a newer feature. In the previous versions of VocAlign, sometimes it would get tripped up by silences or gaps if the dub track doesn't have the exact same timing and sections as the guide. So if there were sections like ad-libs where they were only in occasionally, and then there were gaps and silences, you wouldn't be able to do those in one fell swoop, and Smart Align allows you to do that. So that's a major step forwards and a major time saver. And then the final thing I'll say is VocAlign has a great free functional trial. You can grab that from the link below, install it, and test it out for yourself. I hope you liked the results that we got here today and you got some new information and are feeling inspired to work with vocals. VocAlign Pro absolutely saves me a ton of time. It's just a no-brainer alternative to manually timing vocals. And I think in comparison to other options on the market, it has a lot of really good industry-leading features. They've been around for 3 decades. They've had some time to perfect this thing. All right, that's a wrap. Drop me a like, drop me some comments. Let me know what you thought about that one. Big ups to Lander for helping us with this community, helping me to develop free courses for you, helping by sponsoring the channel, offering licenses. Make sure you guys check that out below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.